Tēnā koutou katoa ko whai wāhi mai ki tēnei taonga o tātou I tēnei rā. I tēnei rā kei te tūau ki te taha o tētahi o ngā mātanga I roto I te ao ture. A man who really needs no introduction. Tēnā koe I te matua.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
And welcome to your listeners and viewers.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. I just had my second big public meeting, first at Pukekohe and then here in Hamilton.
Here in Hamilton, he's a busy man, e te whānau. So I was having a yarn to all of our whānau that have been listening and stuff, and the main question that they really want to know is what are your main 5 priorities going into the election coming up?
Well, the serious priority is to ensure that all the doubts and anxieties that people have about our economy going into the future and where they fit into it are provided with the answers. In short, that we're going to have employment, that we're going to have export growth, that people are going to be able to carry on, being able to afford what they were doing in the past, in difficult times as it is, so they'll need to know that we've got a party in Parliament that understands how the economy works, has got the experience to make sure it works, and that party happens to be New Zealand First in this case. And what's my evidence? Well, the last 3 years, vast provincial growth fund and all the things that we've done to make this a better country, despite 3 massive crises we've had. The March 15th murders in Christchurch, and then Whakaare, White Island, and then COVID-19. So you say the 5 main priorities? Well, they are work, jobs, that is, decent wages, a decent health system that people can access, housing, because people do need housing, and housing that's affordable. And the last thing, I suppose, is a system where people can get by on 40 hours a week, or thereabouts, and have full employment in the context of being able to work the hours required to keep their families. So that they don't live to work, but they work to have a good life.
Tēnā koe o kōrero. Hey, you made mention outside earlier about a kaupapa, about the name New Zealand First, and then you said something like, but they were here first. Can you please elaborate on that kōrero that you made outside?
Well, I was really talking about New Zealand First being a party that puts the New Zealanders first, but I was going back on the fact that some of us have a background in this country that goes back 1,000 years. And that background is important. But if somebody's here and arrived a year ago, then we've got to ensure that they are part and parcel of our future, because we're all in this together. We all together can make ourselves successful. And why are some of these people important? Because in certain scientists, in certain key areas, especially in some manufacturing, we have to get some people offshore who can help us get the skills we need. But that said, we should be employing, educating a New Zealander first if we possibly can.
Oh, right. Ka pai, tēnā koe o kōrero. And I just want to touch on as well, you touched on 1080 outside, and bearing in mind that Radio Tainui is in Ngārua Wāhia, and they were talking about dumps and stuff like that. Hahato, what is your stance on 1080? Matua?
Well, 1080 has been rejected by the rest of the world, and we should reject it as well. We should have spent a lot of money trying to find a replacement. And there is a possibility for replacement, but we've wasted all these years not doing it. I don't think it's safe to use. And that's why we've piloted certain programs where we're just doing trapping alone, and we're trying to broaden trapping around this country. For example, Waiheke Island, there's no more 1080s going to be used there, and there are other places around the country as well like that, near Wellington and elsewhere. But we've got a problem here, and we've gone for the easy solution. The rest of the world has rejected it, and we need to put the science in to find an answer that is safe, which 1080 is not. Unfortunately, all the other parties support 1080s. So we've got a major battle here.
Yeah, you do. Ka pai, engari, ka re kore ka ea koutou I roto I te rataha. No doubt that news will do your best. Anyway, I just want to ask you a few more questions. If you could describe yourself in 3 words, what would it be?
Experienced, informed, and a better person.
Oh, ka pai. And if you could give your 20-year-old self some advice, what would it be?
The advice is learn whatever you can from as many people as you can.
Oh,
no matter what. Keep your eyes wide open, don't be blinkered. Try and absorb the most important thing. Give yourself capacity to gain experience. And if you're a bigot, if you're against other people's views, you'll not get experience. Be open to experience, because it'll make you a much more comprehensive and complex, but better qualified person.
Oh, tēnā koe te matua. You know, as I stand here, te whānau, I'm in awe of you, te matua. I'm in awe of your handsomeness, with what we call cruelty. If you could see his blue eyes right now, Te Whānau, I didn't even know you had blue eyes, but I'm in awe of your whakaaro nui and ngō ngākau nui to the people, and the fact that you've been doing this for a long time. No doubt, you know, some people agree and don't disagree, or disagree and agree, but at the end of the day, you're still here and you're still doing all the mahi mo te iwi. So I'm so very grateful to you, and thank you for taking your time out of your day to have a kōrero to all our whānau in Waikato Tainui. E mihi nui ana ki a koe te matua.